Hey, Gremlin Gear. Today I'm going to be doing a little bit of an unboxing video on some of the cool pouches and just eBay finds that I do. So I probably haven't made a video like this or even showing stuff that I've gotten off of eBay since I've even been making videos. So I figured I'd just go ahead and make one since I just got in some pouches that I've never seen before. So I just went ahead and ordered them. They were like 10 bucks a pop, about $20 for two. And I thought it was pretty cool. I need to get my knife out, take this out, and just show you guys what I got. So this is for you guys since I haven't been making a lot of videos recently, just haven't had a ton of time, but this is a pretty cool find. Like I said, I just kind of search around on eBay for some of this stuff every once in a while, and I've actually got a certain chest rig that I had in mind for these pouches. I don't just buy stuff for the heck of it and try to collect a whole lot. That's not really what I'm interested in, but there were a few cool things about this pouch that I really liked, and we're kind of reminiscent of some other features on pouches that people make that I thought would be cool if this was a kind of a cheap surplus option, like a very cheap surplus option. So I'm going to see if they work the way that I think they do. And like I was saying, this is actually for a chest rig that I'm building out that I have in mind. And I might go ahead and show that. I was going to, make a whole video about it, but it's taken a lot longer than I thought, so I might just go ahead and link it on here and kind of show my idea behind it. So here we go. All right, let's open this up without leaking my address. How do you guys open packages? Please, some cool knife action. Comment below how you like to open packages. I swear a gnat just flew out of there. So, the lovely eBay packaging. Cool. So, it's exactly kind of what I thought it was going to look like. So, well, packing slip in here. I bought two of these. So, this is like a, it says so on the back. It is a joint first aid kit, and it's the United States Air Force. So, it's typical UCP. It's kind of actually weird, not to get too autistic about camouflage, but it almost looks like it's tiger stripe on the top. Like right here, this almost looks like tiger stripe. Well, no, I guess the whole thing's tiger stripe. This isn't UCP. This is definitely kind of like tiger stripe. This isn't necessarily just digital. So most Air Force pouches that you find are they're tiger stripe. I forget what the pattern's actually called, but it's like a gray, white, like this, just like this, but it's like a tiger stripe. I don't know how to say it. Hang on a second. Here's an Air Force pouch that I've dyed. This is the pattern. See how it's not just like the digital? This is the same. This is pretty much the same. This is a little bit more dramatic and like it looking kind of like tiger stripe or whatever. But anyways, it's a weird Air Force pattern. If you dye it or if you have a lot of it mixed in with UCP, it'll all kind of look the same. But it's really cool dyed. I really do like this pattern. So this is a first aid kit, and actually it's supposed to come with a casualty card inside, so we'll see if it did. And I had in mind for this being just used as like a GP pouch because it takes up, I would say 3 rows of MOLLE. It could be 4. It looked like 3 to me, but looking at it, it could be 4. This one takes up 4 rows. Yeah, so this might take up 4 rows too, but I could probably fit it on a 3 if I'm being honest. We'll see here in a minute. So, check this out. Yeah, so this is really cool. This is actually one of the reasons I wanted to buy this pouch is because it has this Velcro lid that you can take off and stuff stuff inside here for like quick access. I've never seen this before in a pouch. I thought this was very cool. So like I said, some of the Air Force pouches are just weird finds and kind of cool. And it looks like this whole pouch, so the zippers run all the way down to the side. Oh, there's only one zipper. Uh-oh. That's not what I thought. Okay, look, casualty card inside. Cool. Don't really need this though. Not using it for a medical pouch. So the whole thing comes undone. So that's actually not what I thought it was going to be. Maybe I can attach another zipper to it or do something different. I didn't think about that. So I thought there would be 2 zippers and they might like stop halfway and you just be able to open it up like a GP. This isn't the end of the world though, but on the inside it has these bungee ties where you can put all sorts of stuff. Like you can put chem lights in here, a rangefinder, other optics. You could probably use this as a binoculars case. Look, it's got little pouches back down here in the bottom, like 2. And then another internal pocket for other stuff. So this is actually very reminiscent of like those Condor medical pouches. I actually have one in my truck. It's probably this size or a little bit larger. It's made by Condor, and it's actually very reminiscent of that. It unzips the same way. And it's actually got Velcro on the back, but doesn't matter. So, cool. So I got 2 of them. And that's going to be kind of interesting, it unzipping like that. It'll almost be better if I can mount it like sideways. So, didn't think that one through. But I don't know, maybe I could get another zipper attached on this side, because that would honestly be ideal. Still a cool find. I'm gonna go get this chest rig and show if it actually fits 4 to 3 rows of MOLLE, and kind of explain this rig. This chest rig that I've been working on is supposed to be a solution for my AK guys who want to buy surplus. Because I have an AK, and my mindset is kind of like, the AK doesn't really do anything that well, but I still have one, and I love my AK. The biggest thing is I have a lot of ammo for it, and I have mags for it. And so I've kind of been drawing this idea around of using the AK as actually like a squad support weapon, like a machine gun. So bear with me. The AK it's not as ergonomic as an AR. Sometimes it's not even as light as an AR, but it's reliable. Mine shoots well, mine's gassed well. And a lot of ammo, a lot of mags. Okay. Being a piston-driven gun, like gassing, or I guess like heat dispersion, is pretty good. The piston's very external. It's not really going to affect, you sometimes will still have to Michael Jackson hand, your AK and everything, but I don't think it's a bad idea for a machine gunner role, especially if you have an RPK or you want to buy an RPK. And I've seen a lot of RPKs for sale recently, like the Romanian ones, which is cool. Get a carry handle for it and everything. So anyways, the biggest problem is finding a way to carry a lot of mags on an AK. If you can hold 4 mags, you're lucky. There's a lot of rigs that'll do it. The Haley strategic ones can fit AK mags, but they don't fit them well. Velocity system chest rigs hold AK mags decently well. I don't like bungee tabs. I like, either Velcro flaps or Kydex, inserts. Tap panels don't even really hold AK mags very well. It's just, you're not going to get the same functionality from that you do with AR mags. It's just not the same thing. So I was looking, and the number one thing that I knew of were these old Condor mag pouches that were super thick. They were way too tall for AR mags. I had 2 of them, and they come slaved together. There's 2 together, and it's 4 rows of MOLLE, and I actually had 2 of those, so a total of 4 mag pouches. I actually sold it with a vest on Facebook Marketplace that I've had forever. It was this old Condor vest I never wore, and I was like, I'm never going to use these pouches. But then I got thinking later, those would actually be really good AK mag pouches because they can hold 2 in each, at least they can hold 2. And they're tall enough for AK mag. So the biggest thing is that you're going to have to realize is that, especially if we're talking about fighting loads, you're going to kind of sacrifice some of your speed and agility and I guess maximizing your speed for being able to carry more stuff. Typically, usually having to trade that off. So what I figured was, let me just get whatever it is, let me just get a pouch that'll hold AK mags a lot. I also figured out you can hold 4 AK mags in a canteen pouch, but they have to be facing away from you. And it's still pretty clunky. You have to buckle them all together at the same time. If you don't, if you want to pull one out, it wasn't a great system. I tried a lot of stuff out. Even tried that saw mag pouch that I showed. That can hold 4 or 5, but it was just way too much. Anyways, where I'm getting with this, I get a lot of surplus too from Army, Navy, Outdoors. A lot of people shop Venture Surplus. I don't actually think I've ever bought anything from Venture Surplus. I don't know why. I feel like a lot of their stuff's out of stock because everyone knows you go to Venture Surplus. So I go to this other website where they have a lot of stuff, and sometimes, well, typically they have everything I need in stock. They had a deal in July though for these mag pouches that just came up on my email, and I was like, whoa, those look exactly like those Condor pouches that I had. And they're actually the Blackhawk, like Condor was pretty much ripping off Blackhawk mag pouches, and I don't know how old these things are. They're probably really old. They're the exact same thing with better build quality. And I think I bought them for like 10 or 12 bucks each. So I bought 2 sets of slave mag pouches. And it's what you're looking at right here. It's these. And look how huge these are. Like, you could hold 3 AR mags in these. Look how thick. This is just crazy. And it all stays together. It's like one piece. This will hold 2 AK mags perfectly. Like, perfectly. And you're not having to like stress about stuffing them in there or pulling them out or anything, and it just goes over and it keeps them there. There's so much Velcro to engage. There's only one in this one. I think there's one I stuffed 3 into, but even if there's not, look, I've got 2 more. Look, look. There's like another space right here, and I think if you wanted to, if you just absolutely had to and wanted to, you could hold, hang on, drum roll please. You can't. Like, you could hold 3 AK mags. That's absurd. You could have 12 mags of AK ammo. And probably I wouldn't do this, because what I'm actually wanting to do is get AK mag couplers, and I think that's going to take up a little bit of space inside of here, so that's probably going to eat away at this space. Maybe not. Maybe I can have 2 coupled mags and then 1 in here, or coupled mag, couple mag, and then on the other side, no coupled mags. So do something like that. And I kind of want to have this AK machine gunner loadout. And even if it's not for the AK, I can just switch the mags out. Like, it doesn't matter. So anyways, I had this whole thought process going on. I was gonna run drum mags with the AK2, but those are kind of expensive, and I've heard they're just kind of like a pain to deal with and just maintain and keep. I don't know. It's kind of heard so things about it. But actually, so I have these mag pouches mounted on the side. This is an FLC vest, and I haven't tested this out that much, I'm gonna be honest. But I was gonna put GP pouches on the front. GP pouch on the front, okay? Night vision on the side. GP pouch, night vision, mags. Okay. GP pouch, water, mags. And I could put medical in one of these GPs, because I don't have anywhere to put medical like on here yet. So give me a second. I'm gonna see if these will fit on 3 rows. It actually does look like you can maybe mount this sideways, actually. Look at these. You probably can. That's crazy. Thank you for tuning into Mounting MOLLE Pouches ASMR with Gremlin Gear. I'm kidding. Of course. But that's wild. It actually looks like you can mount stuff to the side of here. These are nice because you can also probably, run like a rubber band through this and mount stuff to the outside, or maybe like some chem lights. I don't know if chem light would fit through here. Probably wouldn't be fantastic. It's really funny. One of the cringiest things that I see are people who really aren't into like military gear or gun stuff, and they have like MOLLE backpacks, all right? And they'll use the 1-inch MOLLE webbing. Like, they won't have any pouches for it. They don't have any understanding of how MOLLE webbing works, what it's for, or anything. And they will just they'll stuff like pocket knives and random shit into the outside of their backpacks, like through the 1-inch webbing. and they have all this crap hanging off the outside of their backpack, and you're like, look how tactical my bag looks. And it's just like the stupidest thing ever, because MOLLE webbing on its own does not hold anything very well. Like, you have to attach other things to it, like dedicated pouches, and I've always found that to be like, it's cringy, but to me it's the most entertaining thing in the world whenever I see people doing that, because I'm just like, yes, like you have like, you know, 4 pocket knives, a flashlight, a can of deodorant, like your entire sleeping bag, and, you know, like a couple sporks all just like hanging off the outside of your backpack. Like, what are you gonna do when you drop that in the mud, buddy? I don't know. Maybe I'm being too critical. I think we all did that, is the truth though. Okay, that's great. My camera stopped recording in the middle of my schizo rant about us starting an Instagram about putting stuff in the straps of MOLLE webbing straps, random things on backpacks. I think the camera just stopped recording, so I don't know where it was. But I'm on like a 3x3 section of MOLLE webbing, and I'm pretty sure this is designed for a 4x3. This is a big pouch, but this works. It's a little big, right? It takes up some space. My canteen pouch, look, is getting smushed in here. I've actually got this canteen pouch. I'm really squeezing the real estate on the front of this top panel. I've got the canteen pouch on they're supposed to go on a 3x3, and this is on a 2x3. And you can see how this thing's getting smushed. This is gonna hold my night vision insert though. So I'm really not too worried about it, because the insert is stiff, and it will just kind of push everything out. And then I might just have like batteries or something in these pouches. So I don't know. I'm not really worried about it on this side. You know, with the canteen on the other side, it might get kind of crazy. But I'm really kind of pushing this thing to its limit. And you know, I should have just counted on here and been like, oh yeah, this is 4 things wide. If it were 3, it probably would have been a lot better. Anyways, really, I'm gonna have to put this on and really test it. Really see what I think. Oh no, here's the worst part. The pull tab's all the way over here. So you pull it, drop your things out. This pouch is cool. And this is completely separate. This is a completely separate compartment from what you see here. This is like its own thing. Oh, there's the casualty card. Here's another one. Oh, check it out. So, you know, as the GP pouch goes, this is, I think, a pretty cool feature. You can just drop stuff in here, kind of, and just have, I mean, it's a pretty big pocket. I'm sure if you fill this thing out, it'd get kind of crazy. But I've got my stuff up here, and I can have it on the other side. So, like I said, I haven't tested any of this out. This is all just kind of an idea. Focus. There. This was all just kind of an idea and a rig I just wanted to share. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you found this was a kind of a cool eBay find. Like I said, it wasn't a whole lot of money, but it's kind of cool to score some of this stuff. And maybe you know of something that's better. I would like to see only a 3-column version of this, so it'd be like that big. That'd be great. And maybe I should just stop being an idiot and just pony up the money for a real GP pouch. I don't know, you tell me. Because, you know, if this thing's crap and I can't get the zipper thing fixed, might have just wasted $40, but I doubt it. I'm probably going to fix it somehow. So let me know what you think in the comments. Comment if you want to see us shitpost people that don't know how to use MOLLE webbing. I'll see you next time.